Hey YouTube, it's Wisconsin Shoe Guy here, and today I want to talk to you about lasts. You know, a lot of people have asked questions about lasts with regards to Allen Edmonds and, you know, what do the different lasts mean and how are they different. What I'd like to do though today is talk about a different brand. And if you haven't guessed already, this brand is Carmina. And you can see Carmina on the shoe trees here as it sits there. And they've changed their shoe tree style, so you can see mine are all a little bit older. My newest pair of Carminas are these, and I didn't buy trees with them because they didn't have the boot trees, so I wanted to use the wood laurel ones. But as we think about lasts, there are 3 lasts represented in all of these shoes, and yet every one of these 6 shoes is a totally different style. You have a Norwegian split toe, you have a plain toe, you have a long wing, you have a hole cut plain toe, you have a split toe boot, and then you have a semi-brogue. All very different, some differences there, but at the end of the day, they're all the same size, and they all represent what I consider to be some of the highest quality available in men's shoes today. So these two are on the same last. It's called the Forest last, and the Forest last has a high toe. You can see there's a lot of toe room that they give there. It's elongated in an oval shape, so it doesn't have like a straight edge here, like some shoes will have what they call a almost square or a chisel last, right? It has a pretty good, generous end step, right? Meaning this part here, the bluchers here give a lot of room. So it's a consistent piece. Now here, when you have the hand sewn piece on top of it, it looks the same, right? You're able to see it's the same general design. Everything is similar. So if you're familiar, and here you have 2 very different soles, right? But the shoes fit exactly the same. Now, when I first got into Carmina, I had a bit of a wider foot, and so I was originally limited to just these 2 lasts. This is the Oscar last, and this is the Forest last. Both are a little on the wide side, not very, so if you have regular sized feet like I do now, like a D width, they fit fine, but they're, you know, just a little bit on the wide side right here where it's supposed to be. So I don't feel like my foot is too tight in there either. And right now it's not swimming. So this is the Oscar last. And you can see that the toe here is not as high as it was here. So we'll just go there. So you can see it's just a little bit higher on this one, especially right at the toe. Okay, it's more straight up. Has a little bit of a different shape this way as well. So you can see the toe is a little different, and when you just look at the shoe as a whole, the shape is a little different as well. This one's a little bit wider, a little bit bulkier. This one is cut very fine, really close to the edge. You don't see any welt going on the outside like you do on the Oscar last. Now this is also, these are hidden welts, and these are split reverse welts. So that's another example of a difference in there that has nothing to do with the last. The last is just the piece of wood that goes in the shoe that they wrap the leather around while they're making it. But it is the overall design of the shoe, so a very important piece of it. So now this plain toe, hole cut blucher has a day-night-ish sole. This is actually not the day-night brand. It's a Spanish brand, but this is also Shell Cordovan. The other one is Chrome XL. Now, as my foot got a little bit narrower, I was able to wear the narrower last at Carmina, which is the Rain last. And this is the Rain last. And it is available in a couple widths, but I just got the regular double E, I think is what they call it. By the way, Carmina widths are totally different than everywhere else. They have E, double E, and triple E, but that does not equate to like a triple E in the US. It's totally different. So a double E is more like a D, triple E is more like an E. And an E is kind of like a C. So This has day-night sole. Now you can see here, it has a little bit of a toe pop in this last, where it comes up a little bit for the toe, but then is narrowed, goes down quite flat toward the end. Your shape here, it's a more shaped shoe, and more contoured, narrower waist, gives you a little bit more arch support. That's especially easier to see here on this Oxford, where you can kind of see the bubble here, and the way it goes up there. You get the angle quite right. And again, it's a tighter shoe, really narrow heel, and a very, this is a chisel last, where it has that slight squarish area at the top. There is another last. There are actually two other lasts that I'm familiar with. There's the Simpson last, which is even narrower than the Rain, and the Detroit last, which is even wider than the Oscar, that they also have at Carmina as well. Now, if I look at the shoe trees that came with them, because I like to buy the option where the tree comes with the shoe, you will see a difference in the trees. Now, these are not lasted trees, but these trees are pretty different. And you can see this has got a little bevel in it. This one does not, but it's a all a size 10. So just an interesting difference in the way Carmina looks at it. But at the end of the day, you know, the shoes are now all the same size. They all fit me. I have a standard width now, and they're great shoes. So that's lasts. I hope that you found this helpful. This is Wisconsin Shoe Guy, and I'm out.